Oh, wait. Okay. So welcome back, guys. I hope that everybody had a good weekend. We're almost at the end here, thank goodness. So just the agenda for today. We're gonna briefly review the formatting dates. We're gonna review the homework that was due today that only had like 4 questions. We're gonna review the prepositions that we went over last class. We'll review the conjugations of the star, more prepositions, vocabulary to work with, and more vocabulary to work with the prepositions, and then we'll go over the instructions for the homework. So just to go over the days of the week before we go through the dates, we have lunes is Monday, martes is Tuesday, miércoles is Wednesday, jueves is Thursday, viernes is Friday, sábado is Saturday, and domingo is Sunday. So just a little bit of a review of the dates. Like I said, I've been putting the dates for our classes in both English and Spanish at the beginning of the lessons. And to ask what the date is, you would say, ¿Cuál es la fecha hoy? So ¿cuál pretty much means like which. It can mean what in certain contexts, which it does in this one. La fecha, it means date. Es is it, what day is es, and hoy is today. So it literally translates to what is the date today. So to answer that, you would use the formula el plus the number of the day plus plus day, and then the month that you're talking about. So like I have here, an example of this is el 3 de mayo, which translates to May 3rd. So we have the L3 and then de mayo. So it's the 3rd of May. So, and then it translates to May 3rd. If you want to add the day of the week, you put it before the day in the month. So you put it before this formula. So an example that we have here is lunes el 4 de septiembre, which is Monday, September 4th. And then easy enough to add a year, you just add it to the end. So an example of that is lunes el 4 de septiembre, and then you just add the year, so 2021. So that would translate to Monday, September 4th, 2021. And just a note here, when it's the first of the month, you say el primero de the month and not el uno de the month. So that's just a little reminder there. So we're going to go over the homework now because the homework had to do with dates. So we'll go here. Okay. So we have, we're going to state the date in Spanish for the following holidays. So does anybody want to tell me what they put for the first one, which is St. Patrick's Day? I actually have to look on my calendar here because I'm actually not even sure what day that is. 17th. Does anybody want to tell me what they put?
For the first one?
No? Okay. Well, it says El Día de San Patricio es, and then I looked on my calendar and it's March 17th. I think it's March 17th of every year. So it would be El 17 de Marzo. And you can put the year, you can put the day of the week, it doesn't really matter. So you could have just put El 17 de Marzo, and that would have been completely fine. It has El Día de Independencia es, and that's the 4th of July. So that would be El 4 de Julio. And like I said, you could put the day of the week, you could put the year, it doesn't matter. And Halloween is always October 31st. So that would be El 31 de Octubre, right? And then where it says mi cumpleaños is, that's your birthday. So everybody will probably have a different answer for this. But if I was doing this activity, I would say mi cumpleaños es el 10 de abril. Okay. So does that make sense to everybody? Everybody's okay? Okay. All right. So we'll go back to our PowerPoint here. So just a review of the prepositions that we've gone over so far. We have, excuse me, we have en, which is in or on. Aquí is here. Allí is there. Al lado de is like next to or on the side of. Lejos de is far from. Cerca de is close to or around. A la derecha de is to the right of. A la izquierda de is to the left of. Con is with, and encima de or encima del, depending on the gender of the noun, is on top of. Does anybody have any questions on this? We okay? So just a review of the sentence subjects that we use when we use a star is yo is I, tú is you, él is he, ella is she, usted is you formal, which pretty much means when you're talking to somebody like your boss at work, one of your teachers, your friend's grandmother, things like that. Otherwise, you would use tú. So like when you're talking to each other, even when you're talking to me, when you're talking to your parents, you would use tú. And there are certain places in Latin America that use usted all the time, and then there's other places where they use tú all the time. So you just kind of have to get a feel for it about where you're at. But that's the basic rule of thumb of that. And nosotros or nosotras is we. Ellos or ellas is they. And let me explain these two a little bit, which I did, but we'll go over it one more time. Nosotros and ellos is for a group of like men. So like we, like a group of men. They, a group of men. Nosotras and ellas is for a group of women. So if you are like, for me, if I was with a group of friends and we were all women, you would say nosotras. If you're talking about like a group of complete women, you say ellas. If there's like a group of like 100 people and 99 of them are female, but one of them is male, you always use the nosotros or the ellos form. It doesn't matter. Like nosotros and ellos is strictly all females. And then ustedes is when you're talking to like you guys, like all of you, like you guys. Okay. Is everybody okay with that? Do we need some help? Everybody okay? Okay. All right. So just over the review of a star, which means to be, because we've been using that with our prepositions. I have here a star is an irregular verb. And I have it conjugated like this. So the easiest way to conjugate verbs is to make this little chart. This is what I've always done. And you see how our subjects are right here. We put the subjects in each of their own boxes, and you can see that the forms are all different. You see how they're different, right? Okay, so with this, like I have here, a star means to be. So if you even think about it, we conjugate verbs in English too. We say like I am, you are, he is. That's a conjugation when you change the verb based on who is doing the action. So I mean, we even do that in English. We probably just don't think about it. So in Spanish, it's a little bit different because each subject here has its own ending and has its own type thing here. But and all verbs do this in Spanish, which we'll go over that a little bit more. All verbs do the thing you know, they all change based on who the subject is, but estar is a regular verb. It doesn't follow like the general rules and things like that of conjugating. It's a little bit different. So so just to go through the conjugations here, we have yo estoy, which means I am. We have tú estás, which means you are. We have él está, he is. Ella está, she is. And usted está, you are, and you formal are, remember that. And then I said, like when you're like doing a sentence and it says like the desk is it, right? It. So that would go here too. So it would be el escritorio está. Okay, and we'll go over more of that. We have nosotros and nosotras estamos. We are. We have ellos and ellas están. They are. And ustedes están. You guys are. So as you can see, all of these are different, right? So in Spanish, if you don't feel like putting the subjects in, you don't have to. Like you could, like if you want to say I am happy, you could say yo estoy contenta, or you could just say estoy contenta. They'll know what you're talking about. So you can use it and you don't have to. It's completely up to you. Okay, does that make sense to everybody, or do you need some help with that? Okay, so I have a slide here to practice with our prepositions and a star. So if anybody wants to help me with this, that would be great. So our first one is we are here. Does anybody want to give me how they would say that?
Do it go like nosotros está
Our
aquí?
word for we is nosotros, right?
Yeah.
We are here.
Nosotros está.
We are. So estamos, right?
Oh, yeah. Nosotros estamos aquí.
And then here is a preposition, which we went over. Here, aquí, right?
Yeah.
Estamos aquí. So for this one, if you just wanted to say estamos aquí, they know exactly what you're talking about. But you can say nosotros estamos aquí, and it's the same thing. Either way, and they'll know. So we want to say for this next one,
Ellos.
They are there.
Ellos.
So let's go back to our chart here. And we have they,
Is it
right?
ellos?
Ellos or ellas. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can hear me?
And then we're going to look at our chart and
Can
we
you
see
hear
it's
me?
están, right? So that's going to be it. Ellos están. Yep. And there, that's the preposition that we're going to use. So let's go back here and we see allí is there. So that's what we're going to add. So, I mean, doing these sentences is kind of like an equation. It's pretty, you just kind of put it all together. So, for this next one, we have the cat is on top of the car.
You can hear me?
This a new
I'll
assignment.
just give, I don't know if you remember the word for cat, but it's el gato.
You can hear me?
And remember, we have is, we have to do that. So let's go here to our chart and we can see it. We're talking about the cat. So it's it. So it's a star.
You can hear me or no?
Star.
Hello.
And now we need to say on top of. So let's go back to our prepositions.
Yeah, bro, you can hear me?
And here it
Yeah, I
is.
can hear.
Encima de or a.
Miss C, do you hear me?
Hello. Hello.
And the word for car is el
I don't
carro.
think she can hear us.
So
She's acting crazy. I'm trying to ask a question. I just turned in some work earlier.
so normally if it was a If it was a feminine verb, we would say de la, whatever the verb is. But because it's masculine, it would be de él. But in Spanish, just to make that shorter and to make it make a little bit more sense, it's del. Okay. Oh no, I cannot. Hold on, guys. I didn't know that you guys were talking. My volume's up.
What about now?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
One of the students had a question for you because he had turned in some work.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. I don't know who it was because I didn't hear you, but yeah, I'm not sure. Did somebody have a question?
I think it was T. Donnie or Sammy. One of the two.
Sammy, what type of question? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear anybody. Wait, what was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Yeah, I don't know why, but your microphone is like really low. I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it's better now.
All right. I sent you a text earlier. I turned in the quiz, and I'm doing another assignment,
Okay.
but I got confused for a second. It's the dates and the month. No, I'm on a different assignment now.
Okay.
They match the words. I don't know how you do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the homework that I assigned for today. I'll go over that then.
Yeah. That's I guess that's the one you just sent in.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over that before we end.
I finished the quiz. I sent that earlier, and I'm in the middle of doing the months and the holiday.
Okay.
And then,
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
I did get some email notifications that some of you guys turned some stuff in, but I just got them this morning, so I didn't get a chance to go through them
No,
yet.
I did it this morning. I turned it in this morning.
Okay.
That was the. So does that mean I'm on point? I'm on point with everything. If I do
You should be. Yep. I'll double check like my grade book and things like that to double check, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear a word that you guys said. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'll definitely go through all that stuff then, and I'll let you know what's going on. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over the homework then when we're done with this. All right, so let's go back. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. So for this next one, we have I am next to the student. Oops. So I am.
You put yo soy al lado.
You would say yo estoy, right?
Yeah, yo estoy al lado de estudiante. Right?
Yep, that's correct. And for the next one, we have the desk is in the classroom. You want to tell me?
How you say that's in Spanish?
Escritorio.
El escritorio está en el, how you say classroom?
La sala de clase.
Say it again.
La sala de clase.
La sala de clase.
Yep, that's correct. So does anybody have any questions or anything on this?
No.
Okay. So I just wanted to go over some new prepositions. Not that you have to memorize all of these, but just so you have them. A is at or to, like when you're going, like when you're at somewhere or going to somewhere. Debajo de is under. Contra is against. Desde is from or since. Hacia is until or towards. Para is for or in order to do something. Según is according to, like you say, according to me or according to you, según. Sobre is about. Antes is before or in the presence of. De is of or from. Detrás De is behind. Entre is between. Hasta is until. Por is for or by. Sin is without. And detrás de is after or behind. So just a note here that por and para both mean for, and you use them in different contexts, but we'll go over that at another time. I also wanted to share this page with you guys because it's actually really it's pretty informative, and I really like it. So right here I have like it's the same website that I really like. It's called Basic Spanish Prepositions, and it gives you a list of the prepositions, and it says right here using the prepositions, and it actually gives you like a preposition profile of like all of these and all of like the more difficult ones and things like that. So this page is really nice, and like I said, I do have the link on the PowerPoint, so feel free to use that at any time. And I just added some new nouns of like places in to work with the prepositions a little bit more. This is just like more vocabulary kind of. So we have la escuela is the school, el parque is the park, la biblioteca is the library, la tienda is the store, el museo is the museum, el aeropuerto is the airport, el restaurante is the restaurant, la iglesia is the church, el cine is the movie theater, and el banco is the bank. Okay. So I have some practice here. And then I'm actually going to insert a new slide in because there's not really enough room to put the answers in. Okay, so we have the bank is close to the market. So let's go back to our new nouns here, and we have the bank. So we'll insert that first. And we have is. So let's go to here. And remember it, we're talking about the bank, it. So it's a star, right? And then we have close to, close to. So let's go back to our prepositions, I think. Yep, close to, cerca, right? Está cerca. And the market. So let's go back. Did I not put that one on here? No, I didn't. Wow. I'll write it in there because I okay. So el mercado is the word for market. So el banco está cerca del mercado. So that means the bank is close to the market. I don't know how I managed to not put that in there. But so the next one we have the book is at the library. So remember that book is el libro, right?
El libro está.
Yep. El libro está
Adentro. How you say library?
Biblioteca.
Say it again.
Biblioteca.
Say it again.
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca.
Yep.
El libro está adentro de biblioteca, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, this isn't. Shush. You could say, there's a couple ways you can say this. I don't think that I have dentro on our vocab list, but that does mean in. En, you could say el libro está en la biblioteca. You could also say el libro está a la biblioteca. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So either one is, I mean, all of those are correct. So it just really depends on how you want to say it. Like I said, some of these prepositions are very like interchangeable. So you could, do kind of what you want with them, some of them. So we have the students are at school. So how would we say that? Remember, los estudiantes is the students.
Los estudiantes están adentro de la escuela.
We would say están, right? Because it's they.
Yeah, están adentro de la escuela.
So los estudiantes están dentro de la escuela. So yes, that's correct. Or you could even say los estudiantes están a la escuela. That would be fine too. Either one. So for the next one, we have the movie is about love. So I did add some of these in. The movie is La Película. Is and then about. So let's go back to our prepositions. About is sobre, right? So as you can see, I use es here, and that's not a star, that's ser, because a star doesn't work in this situation because it's different, but don't even worry about that. I was focused on the preposition. So I used es here because it's like a more like permanent situation, which that's what you use there for. But like I said, don't worry about that. I was just explaining. So for number 5, we have the shoes are under the bed. Okay, just gonna mute you. Okay. Great. Okay. So the shoes are under the bed. So I added the word into
Los zapatos están debajo de la cama.
remember we're gonna use a stun, right?
Yeah. Están debajo
Uh-huh.
debajo de la cama or debajo de escama, whatever one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Los zapatos están debajo de la cama. Right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. So does anybody have any questions or anything on this? Okay. So we'll go over the homework now. So right here, I just have, you're just gonna match the words, the preposition words that we have here with what they mean on the left. So I mean, you could edit the PDF and like draw on it, or you could just like write it out. That's fine with me. I did cross out 3 of them because I don't like them, and just because I don't like what they mean. Like I don't agree with like what they necessarily have them with here, and we didn't go over them either. So I just crossed out the 3. So don't worry about those. Just do the ones that are here. So an example of that would be lejos de. So you're just gonna match that with far from, right? And like I said, you could draw it. You could, I think you can open it with a Google Doc. Let me see. Think. Okay, no, that doesn't really work. Let me see. Let me see if we can do this one. Let me see if this works. Yeah, there actually is a pen here. Let me see if that works. Oh yeah, that works. No, don't save it. Yeah, so I mean, if you just want to like open it with DocHub, which I know most of you do, you could just like draw it like lejos de is far from, cerca de is close to, if I can, near, which same thing, right? So does that make sense to everybody? What you can do with that? So that's that, like I said, you're literally just matching the words with what they mean. And with this part at the bottom, like I said, I didn't make this, I found this. So you can just like you don't have to do anything with this. You can literally just look at it and see how it is. Like you see, el gato está encima de la mesa. So the cat is on top of the table. So we can actually go through these. So we have el perro está lejos del gato, and that means the dog is far from the cat. El perro, the dog, está is lejos del, far away from the cat, okay? And the fish is in the water. El pez, the fish, está, is en el agua, the water. And we have Mexico está debajo de los Estados Unidos. And this right here, the EEUU, that's how they abbreviate the United States in Spanish. So Mexico está is under debajo de Estados Unidos, and that's how you say the United States. And then just another one is Canada is above the US. We have Canada está encima de Estados Unidos. So Canada is above or on top of, same thing. So you don't have to do anything with these. I just kind of wanted to go over them. So does everyone understand what you're supposed to do for the homework? Does that make sense to everybody? Like I said, you could literally open it when it says open it with Doc Hub, and you can actually write right on it. So you could do that, or you could do a Google Doc, or any way you want. Doesn't really matter to me. And don't even worry about doing anything with this. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah, you're just matching them with their definitions. Pretty simple. All right. So just to go over the plans for next class. So if anybody needs help with anything that we're going over now, or that we're going over, or that we're going to go over, or that we've gone over before, anything, you can come to the lab today from 1 to 2. We'll review our prepositions next class. We'll go over the homework. We'll go over the matching again. We'll review the new vocabulary that I just gave you. We'll review a star and the conjugations, which is the chart here. This. And then I think that we're probably going to start going over ways to describe ourselves and conjugating ser, which is the other way of to be. So we might start that. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll give some more instructions for the homework. So, let's see. Does anybody have any questions or anything on anything?